Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Karie Keefer of Freeland Girls Basketball. How's it going?
Feeling pretty good. How are you?
Doing well. Coming off a about a 2 week break from not really playing, and
Mhm.
then getting back at it tomorrow against Frankenmuth. But just how excited is it to now that you've gotten through these 2 weeks of really not a lot going on, and now you're getting back at it, and probably as we start the busiest portion of the season.
Yeah, it's been going good. We just gotta try and get back into that groove that we've been in the first half of the season. So, and especially now that we're gonna start like gameplay, like conference play and stuff like that, we really gotta focus in on what we're doing.
Yeah, of course, 1-0 in the conference so far. Of course, you played one conference game before break. But
Yeah.
how is the year going so far for you, for
Um,
Freeland?
yeah. So far, we're 4-1. Our only loss was to Heritage, and they came out really hot, so it was hard to fight back in that game. But the other games we've been playing pretty good and playing as a team, so it's been going good.
What were your goals coming into this season, just to get better overall as just an individual player?
Yeah, trying to become more vocal as a leader, because especially like stepping into a senior year, like it's important to talk about what you want to do as a team and like what your own goals are too. So definitely working on talking more.
Yeah. Going into that, like, kind of, you mentioned like trying to talk more and stuff like that. What was it, as you've just grown overall as a player, just overall as a person?
Mhm.
What has it been like, just to kind of, I don't know if you were, a quiet kid growing up or something like that, but what was it like, just kind of getting out of that comfort zone and kind of being, that leader, now that you are a senior and really kind of a junior, as well as maybe this kind of started your junior year as well.
Yeah, definitely kind of like trying to take a step outside of yourself, knowing that talking through with your teammates and your coach is really going to help your team build together. So you kind of have to like step outside of your own self in order to help other people.
Yeah. Speaking of coach, there is of course, you have a new head coach this year. Um, you know, Obviously, it's a challenge anyway, going into your
Mhm.
senior year with learning with a brand new coach and a brand new system and all that stuff. So what has that been like to learn, your senior year?
It's been different from last year, but also like there's good things about it too. Like she's a good coach who's gonna help build a really good program, which is nice to see. And then just like she really focuses on helping the younger kids and also taking what the seniors have been doing for the past couple years, taking that into like a like just looking at what we want and kind of like creating her own new program.
Yeah. You look at the conference that you're in, and it's you got Frankenmuth and Swan Valley and Garber and Alma. A lot of those teams. Your division of the Tri Valley. It's pretty tough.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
So
some pretty good teams, really good competition.
yeah. So getting back into, as I mentioned before, you hadn't played a game since the 20th. So the day before you guys left on break.
Yeah.
What has it been like just these last 2 weeks, just making sure that, staying in shape, because obviously you hadn't been practicing all day, because practicing all that time because of course with Christmas and New Year's. What now that it's kind of, you're still in break for the next few days, and then just kind of getting back into a routine as really the new year has started already. But what has it been like trying to get back into that routine?
Yeah, there was a little bit of like recovery from that first couple weeks, and then now getting back into it. Our coach has been we've been running at practice and like playing like scrimmaging a lot, which is nice because obviously you're gonna get in shape by doing that, and then just also like kind of getting back into the groove of practicing every day and having games again.
Yeah. What is this month going to be? What are these next 2 months going to be like for this team? Because now you're playing games every Tuesday and Friday.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be I think it'll be tough, but at the same time good for us, especially like it's gonna be kind of like a test of what we can do later in the season in like March and when the postseason happens and just like trying to win as many games as possible, especially against some really good competitions, is going to help us build confidence to keep going into the next few months. So definitely try to win as many games as we could.
Okay, senior year, I know it's, chance to have like one last really good season. One thing you don't have to worry about this year is where you're going next year because that's already been decided. You're on your way to Northwood. Not too far away from home. But
Yeah.
what is it going to be like going there, and why Northwood?
Yeah. Northwood, I kind of grown up there because my dad's been a coach there for a little bit. And so I've gone to games even when I was a little kid. But that program, like when you go to games and watch them, you can just tell that they all really gel together well and they have a really good culture. So it just kind of felt like the right place.
So coming into this stretch, you got Frankenmuth coming up on Friday. What is it going to take to get that big win and really kind of continue the momentum you guys have?
Yeah, I think coming into practice today, like getting ready, being ready to go and preparing for, like what we're gonna do tomorrow. But then also tomorrow, like really we gotta show up and we gotta make shots. We gotta just come in and do exactly what we're told and really focus on what we've been talking about for this cup like this week so that we can win.
And then finally, how do you like mentally get ready for a game?
Yeah, I kind of listen to some more like lower, like slower music. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's SZA. That's like one of like the biggest artists that I listen to, and just like if there's not a game before us, getting some extra shots up before, and then like mentally just kind of like locking in.
All right. All right. Well, Karie, thank you so much for the time as always, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.